will the revolution be televised, or will the revolution happen at all? I'm inclined to think that no. Not yet. And not anytime soon. Unfortunately, a lot of people are... It's like the way how I see it, and I've been thinking about it for at least some time now, is that there's like this Venn diagram of these three factions: the people unbothered, don't care, conservatives, and the liberals. And where they intersect and where they find common ground is they have high tolerance for oppression. I just can't really envision that under these circumstances that it would push anybody to actually like resist. Like, oh, they came for the immigrants, they came for the people of color, they successfully, I didn't say they came, because King would be like, oh no, it's just like they had an agenda, they're doing it, and there's no resistance. So let me say, okay, the immigrants, the people of color, the LGBTQ plus, especially the trans, now they're going for gay marriage. They came for the poor. They're having a field day with the poor, the elderly, and disabled. They successfully just decimated the federal government. They have all of our financial information, all our information. Somebody who we never elected have all our information. They said I find that I keep listing all these things that they telegraph that they intend on doing, that they've successfully done, that they've even ramped up like the intensity of how they're going about doing it, that they've shown time and time again that no one's safe. No one's safe. Regardless if you vote for me, you don't vote for me, no one's safe. And nothing. I wouldn't say completely nothing, but it's been protests. There have been people documenting, and we need people documenting, and we need people having showing their displeasure and trying to educate people and keeping people informed. But if at a point where exactly does how will knowledge be applied exactly? Like, you can't just fill people with knowledge and have these people, just the general public, not apply what you're telling them, or not even feel swayed in the least to be like, oh damn, that ain't right, I deserve better, I must get better. And if you see to the point where the majority of the people are like, well, I'm going to complain about it, but most of the time, what can I do? These people, it's not like it's like hundreds of millions of us and like only 100 or so of them. It's like, okay, then I would say that the reasonable conclusion would be that we haven't reached that threshold where it's bad enough, or we haven't reached the worst case scenario for there to be a revolution, because it's, I don't know. I don't know what to say and how to say it. Hospitals are gonna, like, people are going to die. I'm not saying this hyperbolically or whatever. Some people, no, not some, millions of people are going to die because of, these policies and these things that they've done. Some people have already died based on, what they've done so far to shake up with the federal government. And people be like, oh no, you can't, okay, fine. And some people will not see like the correlation or see the connection, or even want to be like, oh, it could be. They'll just be like, oh, this is just coincidental. And then at what point, I just feel like, yes, to all those people out there who are spending their time keeping people informed and keeping people abreast and, sharing your opinion about being, that's good and dandy. I think we'll always need that. But why? I do know why, because you yourself believe in, a better outcome, maybe. Or maybe you yourself believe that, oh, you can like spur people on, but at some point it's like, if you yourself, the one who is like, delivering the message, can't be moved to do the things that you asking people to do, or you can't think of like ways to like maximize or say like, oh, maybe this isn't working, maybe this way of doing things, and or you're just having like a intensity, like, like, okay, that didn't work, now we gotta go to phase 2. Or say if you yourself who is like sharing these things about we gotta resist, and you're not thinking about that, and then you're like, oh, we're doing the same things, getting the same results, and then you wonder why everything is the same. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what it would take for a revolution, to stir a revolution. I don't even know at what point that the majority, because there's just so many things that people have accepted, that people have just said, that's just the way it is. That, with the insurance companies, with the education system, with the lack of oversight, and it's like president after president after president after president after president, and we've had decades of people not making enough, struggling, going to sleep, waking up, doing it all over again, and then if they get sick, they have to struggle paying medical bills before they die. And then the next generation comes, and some of them do it and some of them not, and some of them get a different by luck got like a different path that works for them, but the majority of people suffer, and it's just rinse and repeat over and over and over again. And if it sounds like I am not hopeful about the future, then ding ding ding, I would say you're correct. I am not hopeful about a future in America. I'll say that. I would say I'm a little bit hopeful about a future elsewhere. But I don't know, I think about it often. Well, I think about it like almost every day about, all those, as George Carlin says, temporary privileges, all these people, all the most vulnerable of society. And I think about how easily it was just snatched from them. And there's no protests. There's no daily updates. There's no senators being held accountable. It's just those people just gotta suffer because they don't represent the majority of Americans. And I find that there's going to be a lot of groups here that's just going to suffer because they don't represent the majority of Americans. And a lot of people will say, well, oh, that's wrong, and that we shouldn't stand for that. But the suffering will still continue, and the wheel will continue turning, and they will build another prison detainment center, and they'll hire more ICE, and they'll round up more people, and they'll target more people, and there'll be more protests, and there'll be more pain and suffering to the most vulnerable. And I think the majority of people the people who are in the majority will be slightly bothered, but maybe slightly annoyed, and just be like, oh, that's sad. But they'll go vacation. They'll read a book, maybe enjoy a movie, laugh with their friends, maybe have a little snack, maybe snuggle with their loved ones, and then go back to work and do it all over again. But that was just my thoughts into the ether, I guess. I don't know. I guess stay curious. And if you have optimism, try to send some my way. Toodles.